Listen, if you're the kind of man who thinks her silence is just coincidence, wake up. When she stops texting, when her calls suddenly vanish, brother, that's not random. That's not she's just busy. It's a damn message. A message most men are too soft, too blind, or too naive to decode. But here's the brutal truth. Most guys panic. They spiral, overthink, chase, beg, lose themselves. And you know why? Because they were never taught how to stay grounded when life or a woman goes silent. That's where the power of Stoicism kicks in. Not that cheesy, just stay calm crap. No, I'm talking about real mental warfare. The ancient code of unshakable men. Men who knew how to hold the line, master their emotions, and never collapse just because the outside world gets cold. So yeah, today, I'm gonna break it down, raw and unfiltered, what her silence really means. And more importantly, how to turn that silence into the greatest power move of your life. Because let me tell you, a man who crumbles over a text isn't ready to be king of anything. So lock in. This might just rewire how you deal with women and how you show up as a man. Forever. Hit that like if you've ever felt this. Let's go. All right, let's not sugarcoat this. Her silence? Yeah, it might not just be silence. It could be a test, a psychological test, a spiritual test, a masculinity test. Sounds crazy? Maybe, but pay attention, because this is where most men fall flat on their faces. Silence isn't just empty space. Nah, it's a weapon, a strategy, and whether she's doing it consciously or not. Sometimes a woman's silence is her way of checking something very specific. Are you a man in control of himself, or a boy controlled by his emotions? Be honest, no cap. What really happens when the texts stop coming? Do you start spiraling? Do you check your phone every 5 minutes like your life depends on that little notification? Maybe you start typing, deleting, typing again, crafting that long-ass emotional paragraph that starts with, "Hey, I just feel like lately you've been distant." Delete. "I don't know if I did something wrong." Delete again, or worse. It's 2 a.m. and suddenly you're Shakespeare reincarnated, thinking about sending her some sad, poetic masterpiece about how much you miss her. Yeah, we've all been there. Every single man who didn't know better has walked straight into that trap. But here's where Stoicism enters the battlefield. And listen closely. This isn't that watered-down Instagram quote Stoicism about only control what you can control. No, that's kindergarten Stoicism. I'm talking about the real philosophy of warriors, the mindset of men who lived knowing that life is unpredictable, brutal, cold, and often unfair. And yet, they thrived. Why? Because they mastered the one thing no one could ever take from them, their own mind, their own discipline, their own frame. See, the Stoics believed that adversity wasn't something to run from. It was a blessing in disguise, a forge, a crucible, where soft men are either burned away or reforged into something unbreakable. So when she goes silent, it's not just silence, it's a damn mirror, a reflection of you. Are you the man who breaks, panics, collapses the second validation is gone? Or are you the man who sits with that discomfort, controls it, and lets the silence strengthen him? Let me ask you, straight up, if your phone buzzed right now, would you jump like a starving dog to a bone? Or would you look at it, breathe, and remind yourself that your self-worth never lived inside someone else's thumbs? Because, brother, a man whose peace depends on her reply will never, ever be free. And if you think the emotional games stop here, oh no. What's coming next goes deeper, way deeper. In fact, what you're about to learn might just be her quiet way of saying, level up, become the man you were supposed to be, or stay exactly where you are. So, stay locked in. Because once you understand the full truth behind her silence, you'll never see women or yourself the same way again. Reason number 2. Yeah, brace yourself for this one. She's focusing on herself. And guess what, my guy? You should be doing the same. I know. Plot twist, right? Wild concept for a lot of dudes out here, because your ego wants to believe that every shift in her behavior, every moment of silence, every unread text is somehow about you. Nah, reality check. Sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with you. No punishment, no toxic little game. She's not sitting there plotting ways to make you spiral. Sometimes she's simply choosing herself, her goals, her dreams, her healing, her evolution. And bro, let me keep it 100 with you. That's not only okay, that's actually smart. In fact, if you had any sense, you'd be doing the exact same thing. Because here's where Stoicism punches through the noise like a sledgehammer. The Stoics didn't waste their time crying over what someone else was doing. They didn't sit there wondering if someone liked them, missed them, or was thinking about them. Their only concern was whether they were living in alignment with their own mission, period. You weren't born to orbit someone else's universe like a lost, desperate little moon. You were born to become the sun, to build your own solar system, your own empire, your own damn legacy. Let me ask you something brutal, and be brutally honest with yourself. Do you even have a life that's worth someone missing? Because a lot of dudes are sitting there asking, why isn't she texting me? Why is she distant? Bro, look in the mirror. What exactly is she supposed to be attracted to? If your life is just empty scrolling, weak habits, no discipline, no purpose, why would anyone, including her, feel pulled toward that? She's busy watering her own jungle. And you're sitting there with a dead-ass lawn, wondering why no one's showing up with a watering can. This ain't the time for chasing. It's not the time for begging, negotiating, proving your worth. It's the time to disappear, to become a ghost, to go monk mode, to go so deep into your grind, your discipline, your evolution, that when you finally resurface, you're unrecognizable. And here's where the real magic kicks in, when you stop orbiting others and start building your own gravitational pull. People, women included, start getting pulled into your orbit naturally, effortlessly. That's masculine gravity. Let me hit you with something that might sting, but it's the truth. If you disappeared for a week, no texts, no calls, no updates, would anyone notice? Would it shake the room? Would it echo like thunder, or would it barely cause a ripple in the water? Sit with that. Let it burn if it needs to. That discomfort, that's the fuel. That's the exact fire you need to start building a version of yourself that people can't ignore. But yeah, there's a catch. See, sometimes her silence really is about her focusing on herself, but sometimes something else is quietly slipping away. And brother, if you don't wake up to it soon, it might already be too late. Stay locked in, because what's coming next, it's gonna hurt, but it's also gonna set you free, if you let it. Number 3, she's losing interest. Yeah, I know. That shit hits like a punch to the gut. It doesn't feel good. Not one bit. But listen, brother, before you spiral down that rabbit hole of self-pity or desperate texts, lean into this truth with me for a second. When a woman goes silent, it's not always a test. It's not always about her focusing on herself or going through some healing phase. Sometimes, and this one's brutal, she's simply losing interest. Ouch. It's like watching a sunset you thought would last forever, only to see it fade behind a cold, unforgiving horizon. And yeah, that reality, it's raw, it's painful. But here's the kicker. And this is where Stoicism throws its weight around like a champion fighter. Losing That's not the problem. Getting attached, that's the trap that'll choke you. When someone starts pulling their energy away, life isn't out to punish you. It's doing you a favor. Think about it like cleaning out a cluttered closet. You're tossing the old junk, making space for something fresh, something better. Better people, new opportunities, new doors waiting to be slammed open by a stronger, wiser you. It's not rejection, it's redirection. And a real Stoic man, he understands that his value doesn't come from who stays or who walks out. It comes from who he's becoming in the process, period. So here's a brutal question for you, and I want you to be honest, no excuses. Are you out here desperately trying to glue broken glass back together? Or are you stepping into the fire, the real pain, and forging yourself into something stronger, sharper, unbreakable? Because the truth is, maybe her silence isn't about you at all. Maybe she's fighting her own storm inside, one that's got nothing to do with you or your worth. Yeah, brace yourself, because what's coming next might just flip this entire story on its head, and you'll never see relationships the same way again. Now, before we keep going, I want to hear from you. Seriously, drop a comment right now and finish this sentence for me. When she stops texting, it really means, be honest, no sugarcoating. What do you think is really going on behind that silence? I'm not looking for cliches or excuses. I want your raw, real take. Because the truth, that's where real growth begins. So hit pause, type your answer, and let's build a conversation here. I read every comment, and I'm ready to challenge what you think and share some brutal truths back. Come on, don't just watch, engage. This is for the men who want to own their story, not get owned by it. Number 4, sometimes her silence isn't about you at all. Yeah, I said it, not about you. And this is the kind of brutal truth that most guys never get told, and it messes with their heads. Look, she might be caught in her own private storm, battles you don't see, fights she's waging deep inside. Overwhelmed, stressed to the point she's almost frozen, lost, maybe even breaking down in ways she won't admit. Because here's the truth, man, women go through heavy shit too, just like us. And here's a little Stoic wisdom to chew on. Don't carry what's not yours to carry. Simple, clean, powerful. But what do? We fall into the trap of our own minds, spinning endless stories like a damn Netflix drama, asking, did I mess up? Did I say something wrong? Is it because of me? We torture ourselves with every damn what if. But stop for a second, really think about it. When it's pouring rain outside, do you blame yourself? Do you walk outside, hear the thunder and say, yep, this downpour's definitely because I didn't text her back fast enough? Hell no. Life just happens. And guess what? Sometimes her silence is exactly that. Life happening. Not a reflection of your value. Not a punishment. Just her trying to survive her own chaos. Grief, anxiety, stress, doubt. These don't shout. They create silence. Not because of you. Not even against you. Simply because we're all broken vessels trying to hold it together. A real Stoic man understands this deeply. He watches the storm with steady eyes. He doesn't jump to wild conclusions or demand answers. He stands firm, solid, unshaken, no matter how loud the thunder roars outside. So here's a question for you. Are you reacting to the reality in front of you? Or are you responding to some twisted movie playing in your head? And hang tight, because here's the plot twist nobody talks about. Sometimes her silence isn't about healing. It's not about losing interest. It's not even about storms inside her head. Sometimes it's a quiet invitation, a wake-up call. Not to chase her anymore, but to chase something far bigger, something far more powerful. Stick with me. What's coming next? Total game changer. All right, let's get into number 5. What if her silence isn't rejection at all? Yeah, you heard me right. Not rejection. What if? Here's the real plot twist. It's actually life handing you an invitation, a quiet challenge, a wake-up call wrapped in silence. Look, the Stoics teach us that real strength doesn't come from trying to control others. It's not about forcing someone to stay, text back, or give you their attention. True power, it's all about mastering yourself. Full stop. So when she pulls away, it's not some cosmic sign screaming, "Go chase her." No, man. It's whispering something way more important, something far heavier. Level up. This is your moment to stop losing sleep over read receipts last seen or that one message she didn't send. It's time to start asking the real questions. Who the hell are you becoming? What kind of life are you building when no one's watching? What legacy are you carving out? Not just for her, but for yourself. Let's be honest here. She's not falling for the dude who's up at 2 a.m., losing his mind over a lousy Wi-Fi signal because she ghosted. No, she's drawn to the guy who stays solid, unshaken. The guy who holds his ground whether someone stays, leaves, ghosts, or loves. The man who doesn't chase, but attracts. The man who leads, not begs. And listen carefully. Reclaiming your power doesn't mean you pretend you don't care. It means you feel everything, man. You own it. Then you take that raw emotion and that fire inside and turn it into rocket fuel. Fuel that propels you to become the man you were meant to be. A version of yourself your past self wouldn't even recognize. But wait, hold up. Because what if I told you there's one more reason why her silence matters? Something deeper, something that punches straight into the core of your masculine energy. Stick around, because the last truth, it's about to flip everything you thought you knew on its head. All right, here's number 6. The final truth you need to hear. Silence? It's not really about her. It's about you. Think about it. When everything goes quiet, no texts, no calls, no double taps or validation, what's left? Nothing but you and your own reflection staring back. No claps, no likes, no one rooting for you. Just cold, raw you. And that's exactly when the real question shows up. Who are you when nobody's watching? Who are you when your phone's dead silent? No one's checking in. No one's there to prop you up or distract you. This moment, this silence. This is the forge where real warriors are made. Not by winning fights with other guys, not by chasing women or approval, but by mastering the one thing you truly own, yourself. And let me be brutally honest here. You do not want to look back on your life one day and realize your legacy reads, legendary at texting, terrible at being a king. Her silence isn't punishment. It's a challenge, a call to arms, not to fight her, not to beg her back, but to start winning yourself back. And if that hits you, even just a little, imagine how damn unstoppable you'd be walking the full Stoic path. Because Stoicism isn't just about what you can or can't control. It's about embracing the depth of your own nature, the pain, the silence, the emptiness, and using that raw material to build an unbreakable fortress inside. To stand tall, steady, unshaken, no matter how loud the chaos gets outside. All right, now that you know what her silence really means, and trust me, most guys never get this, it's time to take it a step deeper. Because here's the deal, silence doesn't just happen out of nowhere. There are psychological triggers, little behaviors, and mistakes that kill her interest way before she stops texting. If you want to avoid those traps and truly understand what's going on beneath the surface, click the video right here on your screen, Psychological Triggers That Kill Her Interest. I promise you, this next one is a game changer. And hey, if you got value from this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Smash the like if you're ready to stop chasing and start owning your power. And don't forget, drop your thoughts below. Stay sharp, stay stoic, and I'll see you in the next one.